My name's Randy West. I'm the director at NCAT, and it's my pleasure to welcome you all to the National BMD Implementation Conference. I just got a few things I wanted to say before we get started with the program. First of all, is to thank some different organizations. First of all, the AAPT board for letting us kind of piggyback this at the end of their conference, which has been very helpful in making arrangements and so forth. And we're glad to have, some people that stayed over from the AAPT meeting for this as well. One thing while I'm thinking about it is there is a Wi-Fi for this meeting, and it's actually the same Wi-Fi and password as for the AAPT meeting. And for those of you that weren't here, you may see AAPT annual meeting as a Wi-Fi choice. And then the password is AAPT 2021, and AAPT is all caps. So if you have any needs about that, find one of us that's been here for the rest of the week, and we'll be able to help you out. Also, I'd like to say that this conference is being sponsored by NCHRP. It's NCHRP 20-44/27, which is facilitating BMD implementation. And this conference and some of the other things we're doing as part of this NCHRP project, it's actually a follow-up to an earlier NCHRP project that NCAT did, finished in 2018, that was establishing the BMD framework. And part of that framework was creating the provisional AASHTO standards that are balanced mix design. So those are things I'll reference later, later this morning or later this afternoon. The last thank you I need to make is to NAPA, the National Asphalt Pavement Association. They are sponsoring the reception this evening. So thank you, Richard and Audrey. And so we'll enjoy that. For all the people that are virtual, we'll toast you from afar and enjoy a drink on your behalf. So just to let you know, I think we had a little over 100 people registered for the conference in person. And so we're really happy about the turnout, considering, the situation we are continue to have with the pandemic. But we have also over 500 people registered virtually. And we probably could have had a lot more than that, but I had to cap it at 500 for some logistic reasons for the breakout sessions that we'll have tomorrow. So I'm going to go through just a few introductory slides. First is just kind of go through the agenda for this afternoon and tomorrow. It's a fairly compressed agenda, but I think we're going to accomplish a lot seeing this. So this afternoon, we'll hear really some case studies from 3 DOTs and 3 contractors in those states about their experiences with balanced mix design so far. And then we'll have the reception this evening. And then tomorrow morning, we'll have some more different topics talking about. I'll present kind of a BMD implementation guide that we're working on. And then we'll have 2 presentations from 2 more states that are going to present their benchmarking studies, Maine and Wisconsin. In the latter half of tomorrow morning, we'll have breakout sessions and discuss some real important topics on issues related to balanced mix design that we need to discuss. We don't have all the answers. We're trying to implement BMD, and there's still some questions that we need to kind of work out as we go through this process. So that'll be a chance for everybody to have some interaction. We're going to do it live in this room, and we'll do it virtually as well as in some breakout sessions on Zoom. So hopefully that will go well. And then I'll wrap it up with hopefully a summary of some of the feedback from those breakout sessions. Lastly, I want to point out to you on the bottom of the agenda and on this slide as well is this QR code. And this is also on the printed version of your agenda. This QR code will take you to some resources, some publications that you may find very useful in the implementation of balanced mix design, whether you're a contractor or an agency. First is FHWA and their work with the University of Nevada, Reno are putting together BMD virtual workshops. So that first one is a flyer just introducing those workshops. The second one is a collection of case study reports from 6 states that are kind of some of the early adopter states for balanced mix design. So there's a report in there for California, Illinois, Louisiana, Maine, New Jersey, and Texas. You'll find those very interesting and useful. There's also a fairly recently released FHWA tech brief on asphalt material quality assurance practices. And I think there's a webinar coming up on that as well. You may have seen that being announced in some different social media. The next one down is NCHRP 2007 Task 406 BMD Framework Final Report. So that's the study that kind of got NCAT started looking at BMD kind of on the national level. That's the study that produced the AASHTO provisional standards for balanced mix design. And there's a lot of useful information in that report, even though it's now about 3 years old. The next one down is a NAPA publication, IS 143, which is the BMD resource guide. This is a print version that's available from NAPA. They also have an online BMD resource guide. I don't know, is that still open to everyone? Okay, it's still open to all stakeholders at this point in time. There's useful information being added to that website. So hopefully that will be a good reference for you. The next one down is the NCAT Cracking Group report. This is a report that summarizes the cracking field versus lab study that we completed earlier this year. It's got a lot of different cracking tests and correlations between cracking on the test track and cracking from those different tests. So it's a very useful and kind of up-to-date report. And then the last one is a synthesis report on practices for fabricating specimens for performance testing. And anybody that's already been hands-on with these BMD tests, you know that sample fabrication is such a key part of getting repeatable results and meaningful results. So that'd be a really good guide for making sure we follow good practices in doing that. See if I got anything else. I think that's it for me. I'm going to go ahead and ask Derek Nienerplant to come up. He's going to be the moderator for this afternoon. And Derek is, make sure if I get his title right, Pavement Materials Engineer with the FHWA Resource Center, the Pavement Materials Technical Services team. So come on up, Derek, and get us started. Thank you.
All right, excellent. Thanks, Chang.